My name's John, and I'm the lead pastor of the church, and just want to say welcome to all of you. I'm so glad that y'all came to worship with us. It's kind of cold and windy out there today, but at least it's warm in here. Most of the time. It has been known to be cold in here occasionally, but I'm excited because as you can see, our whole sanctuary is decorated. Today marks the first Sunday of Advent. And Advent is one of my favorite seasons in the Christian calendar. We're going to talk a bit about this today, but as Christians, we actually follow a different calendar than our standard calendar that measures all the different holidays in our nation here in America. We have another calendar called the Christian calendar. And it's a beautiful calendar because it's all about the life of Jesus. And every single year, we get to journey through the life of Jesus and be reminded once again what life really is about. What is the most important thing? And Advent is actually the beginning of the Christian calendar. And so today marks the beginning of our Christian year. You know, we're all kind of gearing up for the end of the year, with Christmas and the New Year and all that stuff, school ending, graduations, all that stuff. And the Christian calendar actually is just getting started. And so we're beginning a new year on this Sunday, the first Sunday of Advent. So we always do things a bit different during Advent. To me, Advent is more of a mysterious season. It's a bit more poetic, I think. We don't do as much teaching during Advent. It's more reflecting and trying to tap into kind of the depths of our spirit during Advent. And so we're going to do things slightly different during this season. And one thing that we're going to do is we're going to borrow some lessons from our children. Right now, they've gone upstairs to the Wonder Room. And in the Wonder Room, they're going to spend time just wondering about the story of God. They're going to spend time wondering about this mysterious season of Advent. They're going to spend time wondering about the incarnation and what it means that Jesus came to walk among us here on earth. And so what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of time to enter into the mystery of the story. And we're going to watch a short video each week of Pastor Christina telling us the Wonder Room story that the kids upstairs are going to be hearing as well. And so we wanted to do a video because if she does it up here, there's little tiny figurines, and you're not going to be able to see that. And so thanks to Nicholas Scott, he worked with Christina to make these videos, and they are beautiful. And really, for me, they felt prayerful. And so I encourage you to watch this video, enter into what is being said, and search your spirit, and just wonder along with all of us as we wonder about this mystery. This first video is going to be about the prophets, particularly about hope and the prophets and the message of hope that they bring. And so let's watch this together.
Everything is changed. It is now the time of the color purple. Purple is the color of kings and queens. No one could wear purple in those days, except royal people. Roman citizens could wear a little stripe of purple, but that was all. Purple is a serious color, and something serious is about to happen. A king is coming, but he is not the kind of king that people thought was coming. This king had no army, no great house, and no riches. This king was a baby who was born in a barn. The king who was coming is still coming. This is full of mystery. You know, a mystery is hard to enter sometimes. That is why this time of Advent is so important. Sometimes people can walk right through a mystery and not even know it is there. This time of year, you will see people hurrying in the malls, buying things and doing this and that, but they will miss the mystery. They don't know how to get ready, or maybe they just forgot. The church learned a long time ago that people need a way to get ready to enter or even come close to a mystery like Christmas. The church set aside 4 weeks to get ready. This is such a great mystery that it takes that long to get ready. During this time, we are all on the way to Bethlehem. We are all making the journey. We are all getting ready to enter the mystery of Christmas. So let's go with the prophets, the Holy Family, the shepherds, the angels, the magi, and all the rest to make the journey that was not just back then. It is also now. Prophets are people who come so close to God and God comes so close to them that they know what is most important. They pointed the way to Bethlehem. They didn't know exactly what was going to happen there, but they knew this was the place. This Sunday is the time we remember the prophets. Here is the hand of a prophet, pointing the way to Bethlehem, showing us the way too. Stop, watch, pay attention. Something incredible is going to happen in Bethlehem. This is the light of the prophets. Let's enjoy the light. Prophets are the people who know the most important things. They knew which way to go. They are the ones who showed us the way. Now we can go to Bethlehem too. I want to show you something very important. Look, I want to show you what happens when the light is changed. Sometimes people don't pay attention to this. They miss this part. But look, do you see how the flame is in one place now? It is right here. When I change the light, it will no longer be in just one place. You can't see it after it spreads out all over the room, but it is there. Watch. Do you see it? It is no longer here in this one place. Now it is spreading out, getting thinner and thinner as it fills up the room with the light of the prophets. Anywhere you go in this room, you will be close to the prophets. There may even be one sitting among us. Prophets can be boys and prophets can be girls. They pay attention. They know things.
So today we're going to reflect a little bit on the prophets and their connection to Jesus, to the story of Jesus, and this story that is actually our story also. We get to be part of this story. You know, I love how the Wonder Room talks about the prophets. They say, prophets pay attention, prophets know what's most important, and prophets know which way to go. Now, if this is what prophets do, then I believe we need to listen to the prophets. They have something to offer us in this moment right now. Right now in our nation, people are saying that attention is power. If you can get their attention, you have power. Powerful forces in our world are competing for our attention every single moment of the day. It is overwhelming, it is disorienting, and it is confusing. Most of us likely struggle to give our attention to the things that matter most to us. Do you agree with me? We are distracted, we are unfocused, we get enamored with wealth, the powerful, the popular, the famous, and we neglect to notice the smaller and seemingly insignificant things in front of us. Prophets pay attention. We are bombarded daily with messages telling us about what matters most. We are constantly being sold something promising to cure our ailments, to make us happy, and to bring us lasting contentment. Everyone seems to know exactly what we need. News outlets are blasting breaking news constantly with world-altering stories. It's just all too much. What matters most? Well, prophets know what matters most. They know what's most important. The future feels really scary right now. Depending on who you talk to, AI promises to enhance our lives in unimaginable ways, or it could destroy our very existence on this planet. Loud voices are telling us to follow them, and if we do, we'll be okay. Political parties are offering vastly different visions for our future. Our friends and family are choosing many different opposing paths with their lives. Even Christian leaders are preaching opposing messages about God's will. Prophets know which way to go. In this disorienting and violent and volatile moment in our history, we need some help cutting through the noise to see what truly matters. Thankfully, we follow the Christian calendar, and we get to retell the story of Jesus every single year. The story of Jesus begins every year with Advent, the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas. Each year, we get to hear from the prophets, pointing us once again to this world-altering event that occurred in the forgotten and poor town of Bethlehem. Every year, the prophets hear our laments and our longings, and they tell us which way to go. Go back to Bethlehem, and you'll once again find Jesus, the poor baby, the Son of God, the saving and restoring one, the mender of all things. You know, one of my favorite prophecies comes from the book of Isaiah. And we've already read it this morning. The Israelites, they were reeling from being exiled from their homeland. They were struggling to see possibility for their future. And the prophet offered a word of hope. Forget the former things. Don't dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The prophet spoke for God, speaking a word of hope into a hopeless situation. He asked the people if they could perceive the new thing that God was doing. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? For most people, the answer was likely no, I don't perceive it. The suffering is too great. Things are too bad. I am nobody and my people have no power. The violence is just too much. I just can't see the new thing that God is doing. The Israelites, they couldn't perceive it, but the prophets could. They saw things that other people couldn't see. Another one of my favorite prophecies comes from earlier in the book of Isaiah. The prophet speaks about what he calls the last days. And here's the vision he offers a people who were victims of terrible violence, of suffering and poverty. He says, many people will come and say, come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the temple of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths. In those last days, the law will go out from Zion, the word of Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations. He will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares, their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Come, descendants of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. That prophecy likely sounded just as absurd back then as it does now. Nations are going to stop training for war? Are you serious? That's kind of what nations do. It's absurd. Yet the prophets could see things. They could see hope where there was no hope. You know, the empire will always claim absolute authority and power. Yet the prophets held on to a belief in a wild and powerful God who could make a way where there seemed to be no way. And here's the really crazy and unique thing about our Christian faith. The people of the New Testament, the characters in these stories and the writers of these books in the New Testament, they believed that these prophecies about the final days, about God's restoration and redeeming, about God's promise to set things right, they believed all those prophecies and promises were fulfilled in Bethlehem through the birth of this poor and powerless baby named Jesus. They believed it all came true in Jesus. The stream in the wasteland is Jesus. The way in the wilderness, oh, that's Jesus. The end to violence and war, oh, that's Jesus. They believed it was all fulfilled in Bethlehem when Jesus was born. In the story of Jesus' birth that we read every year, as we get into it, you're going to see that everybody's singing. In Luke, there are 3 really beautiful songs in the birth story. And they're so full of joy. These people are just singing, erupting in song, because they are celebrating God's mighty acts of salvation. It's because they believed that it all changed with Jesus. All their longings and their hopes and their dreams fulfilled in Jesus. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's where I get a little hung up. Advent has always felt kind of strange to me. Because we say we're preparing for Christ to be born, yet I'm kind of literal, and Christ has already been born, right? Like that already happened, like 2,000 years ago. And if Jesus' birth has changed everything, then why hasn't everything changed? Do you feel me? Like, why are things still so messed up in our world? I don't know about you, but I see nations still waging war against each other. The hungry are not yet satisfied. The rich still dominate and exploit the poor. And the answer I've been given, and the answer that I've taught, is that there will be a second advent when Jesus will come again. Because Advent means coming. It means to come. And so there's going to be another one when Jesus is going to come again and everything's going to be made right. Jesus has already come, but he is coming again. And this is helpful, and I do believe this. Though it still feels a bit strange to me. Because we're looking back to an event that's already happened, and we're looking forward to an event that hasn't happened yet. And my question is always, what about right now, in this moment? Diana Butler Bass puts it so well. She says, we don't live back then and there when Jesus was born, and we don't live in the future when and where at the time of Jesus' return. Advent can be a doubly frustrating exercise of marking 2 times and places we can't know or experience. Both Advents seem far off. She says we need an Advent of now and here, an Advent of near. This is one of the hardest things about life, and y'all probably can resonate with this. It feels like we're living between 2 times. We know about Jesus and all he said and did so long ago, and I love to read those stories. And we also believe and we look forward to that day when Jesus is going to come back. But we still have to live in the here and now. Like we know of the prophets and their promises of this day in the future when there will be an end to violence and an end to hunger and end to anxiety and end to pain. Yet all those things still exist right now in this moment in which we live. Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, Thomas Merton, and I'm sure others have written about not just 2 Advents, but they've written about 3 Advents. Advent 1, the first one, is Jesus' birth and life when he came, the incarnation, what we celebrate when Jesus was born in Bethlehem. God stepping down from the throne above and coming to live among us. World-altering event. Advent number 3 is that final fulfillment when Christ says he's going to come back. But then there's a second Advent, and that's Christ's presence in our lives right now through the Spirit. In a way, every moment of the day we can experience an inner Advent when God comes to us through his Spirit dwelling within us. It's an ongoing Advent where Christ is always coming to us, where Christ is present to us through his Spirit living within us. We aren't just waiting for Christ to return and for his promises to be fulfilled. We have Christ with us now, closer than we even realize, walking with us each and every step of the way. We see violence, pain, suffering. We still struggle to have hope in the face of unspeakable evil. We still struggle in our day-to-day lives to show up in the ways we want to. But let us not forget the prophets, because they show us the way and they point us to Jesus, to his first advent when he was born a baby in Bethlehem, to his final advent when he will return to make all things right, and his continual advent, his constant presence in our lives, walking with us as we seek to embody the gospel in the here and now. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.